We gonna have fun on this shit tonight. Oh man. Oh man. We gonna have fun tonight. Pause. Oh man, Nicholas, bro. Hey, you just the man I wanted to see, bro. Because I know you've been going through the same stuff that I'm about to talk about. Because I might do like a little monologue before we get into like the real show. So stay tuned. If you guys watch the replay, as you guys coming in here, because the numbers be off on my end. Hit the like button, double tap the screen, hit the like button. Yeah, bro. I gotta talk. And Nicholas, you're gonna be able to identify with this. I've been dealing with this stuff recently. Let me get some water and get set up real quick. But yeah, today we gonna have a good one. We're gonna have a good live stream tonight. This gonna be good. This gonna be good. If you guys are watching the replay, you guys are gonna really enjoy this one. Really bothers me. Mm, ain't gonna work. All right. Oh man. And what I'm about to say, it truly shows what's going on, introvert. We're gonna have an interesting monologue. Hit the like button, double tap the screen, hit the like button. What I'm about to talk about in this monologue is it just proves that women are 304s, bro. It just automatically proves this stuff. It's crazy, bro. And I don't want you guys to be caught out here thinking that, we had a great first date. We had a great this and that. And like, I want you guys to get used to this stuff because, um, and don't take this stuff seriously because, it is what it is. Um, you have to, your mind has to be, what's the right word I'm looking for? You have to get used to the disappointment of women, the flaky nature of women, so that you don't take this stuff seriously. Because some guys they get on the internet and be like, man, she flaked, man, bro, she did this and that. I'm like, bro, you should have expected that to a certain extent and not committed or fell in love or you know thought it was automatic too soon. But yeah, we got a crazy one for you guys today, bro. This shit is crazy. This Tinder profile shit, bro. It exposes some dark nature about women. What's going on, introvert? What's tonight's topic? We talking about. There's a guy that had he basically started a profile, a Tinder profile, where in his bio he admitted that he was a criminal abuser of women, and within 48 hours he had 800 matches on Tinder. Now, granted, Tinder has a lot of bots, so some of that, I'd say about half of that is fake, but still 400 matches in 48 hours. Most 90% of men can't do that. Women are abundant. We have to look after ourselves, and the ladies will be there. This was the one article I've come across that states no marriage is not a death. No, marriage is not a death sentence for men. Now, what is your take on this? I mean, it's not a death sentence like in the literal sense of dying. I mean, but if the marriage progresses like legally, gosh, it just gives her, she has the upper hand, the leverage. That's what legal marriage gives her. You know, she can run to the state to get you in line to extract resources from you. And you know, women, they're flaky, so they can do this at year 10, year 15, year 3. And she can take your kids, take your wealth, and like the next thing you know, you're 50 years old trying to start over in life. And so, I mean, and plus, also, do you want to be in a monogamous relationship and have relationships with this woman for the rest of your life? Most men can't do that. Some men can. Most men, if they were being honest, they want another woman. So why would you give her all this extreme leverage? So no, it's not a death sentence. I would say it's not that extreme, but it's definitely a way for the state to extract. And like I don't know why people want to get legally married anyway, guys. Marriage is a religious thing. It's a religious thing. Why did the government have to? Why did religion and government have to go in bed? Doesn't make any sense. The government and the religion don't go hand in hand. The Amish don't get legally married. Bundy had women sworn, swooning for him in court. That's true. Homie, him, the Menendez brothers, bro, them women love the Menendez brothers and they deleted their own family. And he's there for doing the unspeakable to women. Go figure. Yeah, bro, we about to dive into the deep, dark psychology of women. Because these so-called red pill guys argue that marriage is a death sentence for men or whatever the F they call it. I mean, it's not a smart decision. It's not a smart decision, but guys, then you're going to get into a marriage where she says she wants the marriage, but she is at the 70 to 80% rate women file for divorce. It doesn't make any sense, any logical common sense to get married. But this is not any red pill stuff. This is just the truth. Look at it objectively. Okay, so then you're gonna have to pay for lawyer fees, dice up your assets, uh, child support, alimony, depending on your state. Homie, you're getting extracted. Like 60% of your wealth is getting extracted from you with a divorce. So you guys can roll the dice if you want to. You know, the worst thing I'll be is a baby father and to be on child support. I'm not giving no hell no. Especially if she didn't work with me to gain those accesses to those resources. She wasn't in the gym shooting with me. I'm not in hell no. When a woman likes you, she'll want to see you ASAP. That's true. Emotion and she know urgency, high interest. She'll come tired. She'll come unwell. She'll cancel on others. She'll come in the rain. She'll come when it's cold, when it's inconvenient. They are emotionally driven. When they like you, they offer you all of their free time. Yep. I might not be the best decision, but it's not a death sentence. However, you might get financially screwed. Yeah, it's not a death sentence. They're over exaggerating, and then plus they have to be more specific in what they're saying. You can't just say it's a death sentence. What are you talking about? You talking about a death sentence financially? Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. When my parents broke up, my mother got everything. Marriage is a risk. It's an extreme risk, and it's not worth it. You said, what about a baby father? I didn't catch that. I said, the worst thing I will ever be is just be on child support. I'm not being on alimony. I'm not dicing up half my assets, any of that. That would be the worst position within that, uh, the negative outcomes of dealing with modern women. That's the only, because like when you get divorced, all this stuff, you lose custody of your kids. You lose the house, cars, a lot of things you work for. See, with child support, and child support's not good either because you're in an 18-year uh, extraction. And so that's not a good place to be either, but it's way better than divorce. Don't be a baby father. Is that right? Yeah, but I mean, it's natural to see. We see it's natural. But it's hard for me, guys. When you deal with volumes of women, I hope you guys are really paying attention to what I'm talking about because sometimes I feel like it goes over people's heads. And as a person that thinks about this stuff consistently and says it over and over again, it really can get frustrating. When you're dealing with volumes of women, there is a high probability that one of them will, slip. One will slip across the goalie. You know what I'm saying? We can say all these different things all we want to, but women are very manipulative, very uh, conniving, clever, and then you mix all that in with a thick woman that is attractive to you or whatever shape you like, you're going to get caught eventually. So, you know, sometimes we have to a degree, we have to prepare for the worst because unless you guys are going to move to a different country, which most of you guys can't because you can't afford it, well, you don't want a dry dick for the rest of your life, right? So you're going to want to sleep with women and deal with women, and you're going to have to deal with women within your proximity, which if you're living in the West, you're going to have to deal with the modern, the high volumes of modern feminists in the West. So we can try to mitigate these things drastically, but women are very clever in hiding their intentions. So got to hold the cards in life. Have your ish together, home of your own, so things will be in your favor. So let me, and Nicholas, you can probably identify with this. And this just goes to confirm to you guys that, uh, and as you guys come in here, double tap the screen, hit the like button. It just goes to show you how promiscuous women truly are, and how many guys they're talking to. They don't even know what guy they're talking to half the time. They don't save your number. Excuse me, and I'm going to give you some examples to further validate this point. So I went on a few dates recently within like the past 2.5 weeks. I would say just at the start of 2026. This whole month. We're like halfway through the month. So there's one chick, and this just goes to show you how little care they have for you guys. So after this first encounter, we go out for ice cream. Um, after the encounter, I like, hey, let me know when you make it home. And so she makes it home, and then she's like, thank you. I had a great time and time. I'm like, hmm, thank you, Anton. I had a great time. Now you guys know my name is not Anton. My name is Miles. So she doesn't know she's talking to so many guys and she doesn't save their numbers. She don't know who the hell she's talking to or texting to. Neither does she want to put in the effort to truly care. So she just outed herself as being, a 304. So and my thing is I've gotten so accustomed to this happening, and I'm not like saying like it happens a lot in a frequency. I'm just saying that you become immune to women's BS after a while once you start dealing with them for years. This is like I'm 20, I'll be 28 this year. I've been dealing with women at a high volume since what 19, 20, 21. 5, 6 years. I'm over half this stuff. I've seen pretty much everything at this point. And so it speaks volumes. She's talking to multiple guys, and like I'm so used to it. I keep it player that I don't even tell her about it half the time. Women fuck up and make different mistakes. I don't even tell them half the time because they're not even gonna get wifed or married or get even a relationship anyway out of me. So I could care less, honestly. It's either you're not, I'm not gonna talk to you, or you're in the smash zone. There's no in between right there. And so I had that incident. And Nicholas, I know you've been through this stuff. I know you felt this stuff. Um, the other chick, let's see, this one chick I'm talking to that I met on Bumble. We're going back and forth. We exchange numbers. And then, just how it goes, every once in a while you talk to a woman, and I was pretty hesitant on this chick. I wasn't thinking she was the most attractive and all that stuff. So I was like, I was being a little nonchalant. I was taking 10 hours to reply. I could care less really about this. But anyway, I sent her a text message, and then like it's been like, oh, I don't know, 6 days, 5, 6 days. And then I got a text coming back from the gym, because this is my gym attire. I just came back from the gym in a late night session. I got two in today. I got my 2 days in today. And then she gonna hit me with this random text. And I know this text is not meant for me. She didn't know who she's talking to. So she says, "I'm sorry, I just got off of work." And it's 9/11, and she hadn't replied back since Tuesday. She's not talking to me. She's not talking to me. She meant to talk to somebody else, because, you know, if she meant to talk to me, she wouldn't have took 5, 6 days. So guys, women, these women today are talking to so many men. They don't even have your number saved half the time. They don't even know who you are. They don't even ask your name. Like, you know how guys will be like, you know, I can smash a woman and not even know her name. Women are getting to that point where they're doing the exact same thing. They can smash you and not even know your name, bro. And then I had this other date. This is all in the same. It's all in the same 3 months, or in the same month in January. This is the third exchange. So this is actual date. There's two dates and then one interaction. So I go on the date, and I can tell she's a high. She's actually fairly attractive woman. Actually, really, really fairly attractive. She's in shape. Um, she kind of dressed up because we went to this little gelato place. And so I'm just in my mind, I'm like, I'm just playing this cool. Like, I'm not trying to sleep with you on the first night. I could care less where this go. I'm just playing it cool. And like, I'm not. This is not an act for me, guys. I'm legitimately taking my time. Like, I'm not in a rush. So I could just tell, as we finished our interaction, I could just tell that she was egging or wanting me to at least try to invite her back to my place for whatever reason, because you have to realize that women, and this just goes to show you how messed up their psychology is and how promiscuous they truly are. Some women, if you don't invite them over or you don't give them affection, you don't go for the kill, meaning that you don't go for a kiss, you don't, excuse me, you don't go for a kiss, you don't grab her butt, you don't hug her, uh, you don't pin her up against the car and kiss her and grab her butt, or you don't invite her over. They take this as a level of rejection. I don't know if you guys have gotten to this level yet, and I'm not saying I'm at some kind of master level, but there's women out here that feel rejected when you don't invite them over on the first date. It's the biggest mind F, right? The biggest mind F. And a lot of you guys are like, I don't want to ask her on the first date, because, you know, she could lose interest all this time. And what you don't even realize is she's done that multiple times. She just didn't do it with you because she wasn't really attracted to you like that. Let me read some of these comments. Exactly. Social media exposure has shown us that multiple times that there is one IG post stating that couples who keep their relationship, probably might have a better chance of getting married. I agree. I wonder if she called Anton Mile. She never caught it, bro. She never caught it, and she doesn't care to call it, which means she's a brainless 304. Even me, I don't think I've ever made that mistake in life. I've never like mixed up a woman thinking she was this woman and not other woman. I always double check my messages. I'm always conscientious and detail oriented. So I'm always need to know who I'm texting. But these women don't care, bro. They don't care. The fact that she called you Anton, knowing damn well it's not your name, it's a red flag and a huge turnoff. Yeah, it kind of was a turnoff for me. I'm like, I already know you're talking to multiple guys, but damn, can you at least say my name? I get my name correct. I mean, that's a sense of not only disrespect to a certain extent, but like a lack of focus, lack of attention to detail. They dealing with so many men, bro. It's astounding. They're testing for gullibleness. Yeah, doesn't matter. They shouldn't have even be talking to you if they got can't get your damn name right. Yeah, women leave me the most because I'm not gullible. Yeah, yeah. The guys that understand women at a high level, we're not going through the BS because we can translate what they mean when they say certain things. Like this woman, I could tell the reason why I know that she wanted me to press the issue, that particular woman, she wanted me to press the issue, is she dated a guy that was pretty toxic. He had her scared, essentially. Excuse me. It's ironic that I'm talking about this because it goes into the topic of this guy with the criminal history, or this guy with the criminal profile bio. It kind of goes into that topic as well because apparently she likes toxic guys. Now, to me, she's complaining about, he was acting so good at the beginning, but he just turned manipulative and abusive, and he had me scared. And even my father came down. But I'm just like, you dealt with him for 6+ months. He was blowing your back out. He won. He won. He won. So I mean, apparently you have a fetish for toxic men, and so that's why I know for a fact, not 100% fact, but I know for a high probability she wanted me to invite her over, uh, you know, do something aggressive with her. And not, when I say aggressive, I don't mean like I'm just meaning like push the issue, you know, escalate. Is what I'm talking about. Like kiss her, like grab her, whatnot. She was looking for these kind of cues, and I didn't give it to her because I was laid back and nonchalant. And the thing is, like, I'm not. This is not an act for me, guys. Like, I legitimately, that's my personality type to a degree. I'm not like that all the time, but I have my moments where I'm extremely nonchalant. And she probably took that as like, this guy's not really interested. He's faking or whatnot. And I'm like, that's my personality type. Sometimes I don't give a damn about anything. I don't give a shit about nothing. I'm just fucking chilling. Anyways, they can't play game. They get angry when you can't manipulate. But also, they lose interest when they can manipulate you. Women, that's the women's conundrum. They don't like it when their manipulation doesn't work, but if they manipulate you too much, they lose interest. It's crazy. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. We're almost in our 30s. How many more times are we going to keep playing these games, let alone continuously entertaining 304s? They're all 304s, bro. And that's why marriage is a goofy concept today, because what is it? Marriage, shout out to Mr. Burton. Um, Marriage meant that you're getting a wholesome woman, a virgin, meaning you're the first person and the only person to have intercourse with this woman. So you mean to tell me you guys are going to work to make a whole bunch of money just to get legally married to a woman that's been smashed by 30, 40 men? and you're going to get mad when she divorces you when she has a very promiscuous sexual past. So, it doesn't make any sense, bro. It doesn't make any sense. Entertaining these 304s, they are ruthless, will never hit you up again if you don't satisfy her. Yeah. And like women can't take rejection, guys. Like when you reject a woman, it's over. Like she's not gonna change her mind. Like some guys will change their minds. You know what I'm saying? They're not changing their mind. They're ruthless, will never hit you up. Why you say nobody cares, bro? Don't just discredit his comment, introvert. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cared. What do you mean nobody cares? I care. I'm reading it. I'm reading all you guys' comments. These females can never be satisfied. That's true. I was a woman's I was a woman's place in 2022, tired as F, and sat on the couch with her, went to the toilet and was going to try with her when I got back to the living room. Then she said she was going to bed, so I left. Yeah, you get like that. In other words, she got a bird brain. What's going on, Chris? But at door, she was asking me, what are you going to do now? It was half 10 at night. What she think? Wanted me to make a move for sure. Didn't hear from her again. Yeah. Yeah, like when women guys and see that's what us attractive men and men that understand the game, we reverse the game on women. Women aren't used to feeling rejection. And so, and I've done this in my relationships. I've had relationships with women and been in whole boyfriend girlfriend situations and been in that kind of committed capacity, and I've rejected because I'm trying to focus on something. So like when women want intercourse, they just automatically expect you as a man to be on full go, ready to do it all the time. Like you're just like this automatically sex crazed idiot. But when she don't want to have intercourse, she expects you just to control it. It's the stupidest thing ever, bro. Women wouldn't like it if you didn't, yeah, do the same if she did. Yeah, call her another woman's name. Yeah, exactly. I would have used a totally different tactic with a very good woman. Mm. And what tactic is that? Women judging on everything but morals. Yep. Women are competitive. You bring them down a notch with a backhanded compliment. Yeah, exactly. They're not used to that either. You're reversing the game. He laying a good ass pipe, and I'm not. No, I'm not talking about replacing old pipes in the sense of plumbing. Like you said recently that not all women are like that. I said nobody cares as if why would we care that women will never contact us again if we don't satisfy her. Yeah, we shouldn't care. You're right. We shouldn't care. But anyways, let's get to the core topic. We're 30 minutes in. As you guys come in here, double tap the screen, hit the like button. So we have a very interesting thing, and we have to dive into the deep, dark psychology of women. The deep, dark psychology of women. So let me prop this up and let me take a swig of water and read this out to you guys. So, a man went viral in late 2025 and early 2026 for creating a Tinder profile that claimed he had a criminal record for abusing women. Yet, he still received over 800 matches in 48 hours. See, a lot of you guys, you hear these people on the internet And some of these guys are geeks, and they're too overly into theory and no application. They're not adaptable in their ways. They just think, oh my God, money. You have to get money to get women, and all women like money. No, you don't. Some women like getting they back blown out by the broke dude because he got the time and he got the effort to put in. You know what I'm saying? She used the rich guy for the money and then go sleep with him. Excuse me. But a lot of these guys, they'll be like, you got to get great pictures on Hinge and Tinder, and you got to get in shape and all this stuff. Meanwhile, this dude just admitted that he was toxic in his bio, and he got 800 matches. Now, granted, he's an attractive guy. I think the profile was like an attractive man on there. But again, if you're attractive enough and you're toxic enough, women will overlook all that BS. It's you're true guys. A lot of you guys, you've truly been taught wrong about women. You really have. You really, and this is why I have to keep making content. And a lot of you guys don't understand. The reason why I have to keep making content, and even though it don't really reach a whole bunch of people, even though it don't make a whole lot of money, I have to keep doing this to a certain extent. Maybe not as much as extremely a whole bunch because it's not making a whole bunch of money. But I have to keep doing this to a degree because a lot of you guys, whenever you turn the live stream off, whenever you guys go back into your daily life and you go back and you mingle around your friends, your family, your everyday person, all they are telling you is normie beta male BS that doesn't work. It gets you treated like a nice guy. And as a man, being called a nice guy is not a compliment. Being a nice guy ain't gonna get the job done. Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, he's an asshole that wins. So, nice guys, that's not a compliment, guys. You know, it's like up there with a woman calling you handsome. You're handsome. That's like a backhanded compliment. You know what I'm saying? You want to hear fine, sexy, all of this stuff. Anyways, let me continue. So here are the key details regarding this incident. So the profile. So the user created a profile with a bio that openly stated he had a violent history of abusing women. Oh my God. And so the result is instead of being ignored or reported, see, a lot of you guys, and this is me included, I've gotten banned off of Hinge for no reason at all. You know, they don't even tell you what the good reason is. They just banned you off these platforms. Um, so instead of this guy with this toxic bio admitting that he does violent things, clearly goes against the Tinder and the dating profile, the dating apps guidelines, the women don't report this kind of guy. They match with him. They're interested in him, which lets you know these dating apps are really they're really not, they're full of shit is really what they are. These dating apps are full of shit. If you're an average guy, don't get on a dating app. It's a game. It's a Ponzi scheme. It doesn't make any sense because he can have this bio, but they're not going to kick him off because he's getting a lot of traction. And so it's just like with YouTube. They're not going to kick you off of YouTube if you get a million if you got a million subscribers. They're not going to demonetize you or, stop you completely from making content if you're bringing in revenue for YouTube on a consistent basis. And so, I mean, Core Expression Fit and Pearl Davis, all them are, exceptions to the rules, but they're not going to stop Mr. Beast from making content. He could do something controversial tomorrow. So these dating apps, they play these games with you guys, and depending on what kind of guy you are, don't get on the dating apps. It really doesn't work. So he doesn't get reported. He gets more matches, which means the dating app, even if he did get reported, he wouldn't get banned. He might get suspended. He might get a warning, but he's getting a whole bunch of traction. So the reaction is the incident sparked widespread online debate about dating app culture, the bad boy allure, the potential romanticization of red flags. You know what's interesting about women? We have to kill this theory that women have intuition. They have absolutely no intuition whatsoever. Their intuition sucks because if they truly had intuition, they would avoid these mistakes, but they don't. Which is why the man's intuition, or really it's just man's logic, his better rational behavior in selecting a mate for his daughter makes a whole bunch of sense. But see, in the traditional courting process, the woman had to get approval to date this man from the men in her family, her brothers, her fathers, her uncles. They had to look upon this man and meet him, and they would put him through all kind of different tests to make sure he's the man that he says he is. Or, and plus they would make him do certain things to show that he is competent in his job, competent in taking care of, you know, his their daughter. So they would put him through a meaningful test to make sure he is a good mate. Women, all you have to do is tell them sweet nothings half the time and be in shape, and they're gonna fly. They're gonna go. So, women have all this freedom, they still can't find the right man. So it lets you know they're not meant to choose their own man. They always choose wrong. Their intuition doesn't work or it doesn't exist. And whether shocking content generates more and whether shocking content generates more attention than traditional honest profiles. So this case is often cited to highlight the issues with modern online dating. I don't think it highlights any issues with online dating. I think women have always been attracted to these men. They've always been attracted to the man that's toxic, to the man that's different, to the man that's uh, not always overly validating him, the man that has a backbone. He doesn't take the ish off of nobody. We all know a woman in our personal lives that um, is deeply, they're deeply. You see that she's getting abused, but she don't leave the guy, which means what in turn? She likes the guy. So how are you going to defend her to go beat this man up for touching her, violently, if she's just gonna keep going back to him? It negates the whole purpose of you trying to defend her. And we all know women like this. We've all come across women like this. With commentators asking whether the results reflect a desensitization of dangerous behaviors or a desire to fix troubled individuals. It's probably more of a desire to fix troubled individuals. But women they respect power. You know what I'm saying? And what more power is it than the physical power? They like these things whenever they get into the canine position. They like these things whenever they're getting power driven into the mattress. So, she has a psychology of wanting to be dominated, but lying about it out of her mouth, which is why this is a dirty little secret that most women will never tell you. They like being dominated. They like the aggressive man. They might not, they would tell you that, uh, you might make them cry from time to time, or you might make them mad, or, you know, they say it's unpleasant, but they'll keep dealing with you. you know, she can say whatever, but if she stays right there, that means she likes you, or she's willing to put up with it. For real, if you're attracted to them just from looks, all you've got to do is follow that to the bedroom. As for keeping her after, hook up quality over quantity in terms of time spent together. Yep, yeah, and that's the thing also that I'm learning as well. A lot of these women, they want to get casual intercourse as well. You know what I'm saying? So, you guys should be aggressive. I promise you. Um, you're gonna have more regrets of not trying than regrets of trying and getting rejected. You know, that's a sense of regret. A lot of men have regret that they didn't approach the woman, they didn't pursue the sex. But do you really feel regret if you tried it and got rejected? You got to answer. You never know what you would have gotten if you would have tried it. Be careful here. You have a graduate of from John Unconventional Warfare, Physiological Warfare and Operations. Shout out to you, Chris. What do you mean? Be careful. I didn't offend anybody. Let's see. Unconventional warfare. That means guerrilla warfare. I've had beautiful women spend on me and take me to theirs. Yeah, that's crazy. Some with boyfriends, they're paying for me. They're paying me for. Yeah, guys be thinking this shit is like a lot of the guys can't grasp that, Nicholas. But it's dudes out here that's killing the game that can reverse the game on these women. Must scan for does he have good genetics? I'd like to reproduce, and is he competent to protect and provide? Yeah, exactly. Like you got like a lot. I don't think men truly comprehend how um, important protection is. Like protection and resources go hand in hand, damn near. Because if you can get the money, but you can't defend it and maintain it, then what's the point? Excuse me. And plus, you have to realize, guys, like if society collapsed tomorrow, protection means a lot. So 15 years ago, I had a dating profile. Mine said I was rough around the edges. Unfortunately, had deleted in combat. It completely blew up with hundreds of contacts. I don't doubt it, Chris. Homie, they love a toxic man. They love it. Women, it's so and like when I say this stuff, guys, a lot of you guys will try to emulate the bad boy and emulate the criminal and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, you don't need to do that. You just need to take the truth for what it is. Do you really want to be in a prison cell for 2, 3 years and watch men get R to the A to the P to the E, watch them get knifed in the neck and fight each other, and there's no women around, so it doesn't pay to be a criminal. I'm just saying, women love these men. They love these toxic. I don't give a damn. It is what it is, men. It's just too clear, and anybody that can't see it is clearly in denial. Um, you can definitely borrow some of his mindset, but definitely don't act this stuff out, guys. Don't be something. Don't be something that you're not. You're gonna get face the consequences. Come across as most dominant man in the room will have women blush for you. Yep, I know how women think, how to use their emotions to my advantage. Mm, yep, yep. When we're dealing with humans, it all comes back down to emotions. You know, it's crazy how they'll sit you in an economics class and they'll say that you know you have to assume that when people are making rational decisions in the stock market. I'm like, no, the hell they're not. It lets you know how piss poor the education that we're getting in the colleges are. That it doesn't make any sense. Crazy work, guys. Let me play this. I want to play this funny clip of Stewie. Bro, Family Guy used to go hard back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember that. I know Family Guy was some of the funniest shit on the planet, bro. Give me a second. This is funny, bro. All right, here we go. I pulled it up. You're gonna laugh your asses off it at home if y'all hadn't seen this clip. Important game is realizing don't destroy their perception of you that turns them off. Yeah, exactly. Because if you that's why faking like a bad boy doesn't work because she's gonna test it. And when you're not aggressive or put her in her place, she's gonna be like, oh, you're cosplaying, right? When something happens in public and you don't stand up for her or stand up for yourself, she's gonna be like, oh, you're not really that tough. So it doesn't work. This is why it doesn't pay to fake it. If she believes you to be something hot and attractive, keep her believing. Yeah, exactly. Let's listen to this. What Stewie learned the hard way, and where a lot of you guys gonna have to learn the hard way. Anyway, let me go back to a better clip. Bruh, women are it. This is why I gotta keep making content, guys, because a lot of you guys, as soon as you go back to your normal lives, you go right back to that BS, that normie BS. Economics. I would give my number to a woman on a deposit slip that wasn't mine, but had a balance of 100K balance. Yep, they called. You know what's crazy? I was at this one restaurant, and I don't doubt that worked. I'm pretty sure it did work, Chris. I remember this just goes to show you can't trust any woman that works in these hospitality industries, servers, waitresses, all this stuff. You can't trust these women. So me and my friend, Chris, not Chris here that's here now, but my friend Chris, the polka dot underscore dot score. In real life, my friend in real life, we were at this bar in college, and I just wanted to try some shit. So I was like, let me. This woman looks decent. Our waitress looks decent, so I'm gonna leave her, a decent tip, not a whole bunch of money, just like 40% of what I was, uh, of what I paid. So I do that, and then on the back, I write my number or I put my Snapchat on. And then you guys know what? I wasn't even expecting her to respond back to it. Guys, she responded back. So these bartenders, these waitresses, these servers, guys, they're getting offers daily. You guys heard one of the dates I went on this month, the lady told me that she was a server and she was getting the biggest tip she ever gotten was a $2,000 tip. And that was an athlete that she had a fling with in the summer. So these are women, these are basically escorts, bartenders, servers, waitresses. If a baller or a good looking guy or an athlete or whatnot, and these are the areas that these guys go to, the bars, the club, they're gonna get, they're gonna go, homie. Which is why you cannot trust women that work within these industries. And Chris just validated that. Nicholas, I'm sure you've had stories. He said damaged women seek damaging men. Yeah, like attracts like. You can easily figure out how damaged they are pretty quick. Yeah, exactly. That's true. A lot of guys, they can't psychoanalyze a woman properly. It worked 95% of the time. Oh, I'm not your friend now. Oh, I am not your friend now. Bro, chill. You know what I meant, bro. I meant friend like in real life. I hadn't met any of you guys yet, but Nicholas and Chris, you guys are in Arizona. And I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of fine women in Arizona for sure. But on the real, like no BS, I think if I have to go on a vacation soon, I think I might go to Arizona, bro. Like real talk. Like I'm not exaggerating. It's either gonna be to Arizona or it's gonna be out of the country. So I can actually meet Nicholas and Chris. I don't know where you, Chris. You say you live out in the boonies, right? I would travel internationally. Well, I heard Phoenix and what is it, Glendale? What is it, Glendale, Scottsdale? Are pretty nice areas to visit. I mean, Arizona and Texas, the weather in Florida, all that the weathers are pretty much the same across the board. Florida has more rain, of course, and hurricane. Bro, I got Arizona State over there, bro, homie. Arizona State is like that's like the college you go to for like the most attractive women in America. If you guys want to go to college to meet the most attractive women in America, you go to Arizona State or one of them California schools. Phoenix is a dump. Scottsdale is nice. Damn it, wouldn't derail Phoenix? Didn't Phoenix like 15, 20 years ago used to be the ish? Used to be the shit. But yeah, Arizona and Texas are pretty much the same. It's the same weather, essentially. Damn, yeah, we supposed to get cold in the morning. 21 degrees. It's already 28 degrees right here. And I still don't care. I'm gonna go out there and still be running. Don't give a damn. The school, Tucson has some good-looking women wandering around. I don't know what it is about Arizona, but it just attract. I think what it is, making Chris or Nicholas, because a lot of you, both of you guys live there. These must be the women that can't make it in California, so they go to Arizona. It's the same thing with Las Vegas. Like the reason why we have attractive women in Las Vegas and Arizona is because they couldn't make it in California. Am I right? Am I wrong? You say you plan on staying in Texas. I plan on having a base here in Texas. I want a retirement visa in a different country. I want a base here in Texas. Because a lot of Americans we're kind of imbeciles, right? Whenever I hear it from very relevant and valid passport bros, and a lot of you guys have traveled overseas as well. Um, we can talk, America has its problems, but still, from a structure and from a order standpoint, and the development, we're still very highly like we're still the top of the top when it comes to that. Yeah, we might have a lot of feminist women, but we don't have to worry about the lights getting cut off and you know, excuse me, in calling the police and the police coming to help you. Like it's these different countries they don't have some of this stuff. So I'm gonna always have a base here in the United States, probably in Texas. I mean, Arizona could be a destination. Vegas could be a destination. Florida could be a destination. It's going to be out in four places. I'm not living in New York or California. California is a complete. It's a complete. It's so sad because there's so many resources over there in California that they're not tapping into. It's them damn liberals, and you guys know I'm not on the left or the right at this point, but them California liberals are running that state into the ground. And it's atrocious because they got so many. They got great weather. They got wonderful women. They got you know everything you need for a thriving state, and all of it's being mismanaged because of corruption. Ridiculous. Yeah, my boy Sean Payton is he is hurt. Yeah, them Seahawks dismantled the 49ers. That wasn't even a game. I didn't even watch that game. I knew they was gonna lose. Damn, the Falcons hired Stefanski. That's crazy work. See, California is dreadful. Yeah, I got to go out there at least one time, just to see the good parts of it and then get the hell up out of there. You plan on staying? No, I would say the whole inflation started in California. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. And that's why, if introvert is still in here, you can still comment. He probably left, I think. But I think introvert said he's in California, and that's why he said he's struggling with women. I'm like, bro, it's because the women in California are hypergamous, homie. Like, guys, if a woman lives in California and she's in LA, she's in San Diego, she's in Sacramento, she's in San Francisco, she's in the Bay Area, you know, Newport Beach, like, guys, they're just one street away from meeting a celebrity. Hockey player, basketball, football, singers, entertainers, celebrities. Like, guys, they're 3 miles away from meeting these people. They're one swipe, they're one DM away from responding to these guys. So yeah, if you're an average man in California, average money, average looks, average whatever, you're not getting anything in California. And then on top of that, you're living in a bro. You got to move out of. It's cooked. Like New York's damn near the same way. That's really, to be truly honest, it ain't just California. It's the big cities. If you're not killing the game, homie, if you're not an athlete, if you're not a businessman making six, half a million or more. If you're not a businessman, if you're not making a lot of money, six figures or much, the city is going to eat you alive. The city is going to eat you alive. The whole inflation is going to go insane, bro. Like, you're going to walk down the street and you're going to be literally invisible. And that's why the women move to big cities to get to these attractive men. They're all fucking the same guys. So, you know, it's crazy work. What you do at the gym today, I did a lot of deadlifts, back is hurting now. Yeah, bro. You gotta relax on them big heavy lifts, man. But I was gonna tell you, Nicholas, because you're always fascinated with different workouts and trying to figure out different workouts. One of the workouts I did today is, of course, just regular, pull-ups, 50 pull-ups, push-ups, and dips. But what I implemented, and if I'm going to lift any kind of weights, it's going to be extremely lightweight, so like 10, 15 pounds. Um, so what I did when it comes to weights is I do 3 minutes straight, 3 minutes straight of non-stop bicep curls, bench press. This is all with 10, 15 pounds of dumbbells. 3 minutes straight, non-stop. And then I did the lat pull downs for 3 minutes straight. And of course, you take rest in between the exercises. Excuse me. But yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did today, weights wise, plus the body weight. But the reason why I like doing the body weight stuff is really because it's better for longevity. You're using more of your core, and your joints are getting more oil. I wouldn't say oil, but lubrication that will help you longevity wise. You said Newport Beach is a totally different situation. Explain. Educate me. I've never been out there, but I've heard a lot about it. Miami. Oh, you're cooked, bro. Shit. Motherfuckers like, I'm gonna move to Miami. You can't even afford Miami, bro. The most women out there, they have BBLs and all kinds of stuff, the Latinas and all that stuff. I'm like, bro, y'all need, bro. 50 pull-ups is crazy. Do a gym vlog. Well, you gotta space them out. I've done 100 pull-ups before. So yeah, mastering your body weight is truly essential so you can know how to use your body weight. Millionaire women from divorce, crazy money, husbands and wives both cheating. Yeah, I don't doubt it, bro. I don't doubt it. Yeah, you're right. Because I heard Newport Beach is probably one of the expensive zip codes in the United States. It's probably top three. Manhattan is probably up there too. Miami's probably top five, top 10. Las Vegas is probably up there. We're naming cities at this point. We're not even naming zip codes anymore. But yeah, Newport Beach, I heard that's an extremely expensive zip codes in the nation. If you live in Newport Beach, that's a status symbol, like for real. But yeah, like you said, like the people who are cheating, I don't doubt it. You know what I'm saying? Because the fine women go where the money is. But yeah, it's so funny to me because like it's funny to me how guys is dating. Guys, I want you guys to understand where you're located in your environment and your location affects your dating options. So like a lot of you guys, you want to live in a big city, but you can't handle a big city. You know, you can't handle the hustle of a big city. Um, it's a different kind of hustle you have to have. A lot faster pace. The people are more pushy, so you have to develop a backbone very quickly. You know, the women expect more out of you when it comes to you being a quality man. Now, granted, they're not quality women because city girls are or 304s, and I was gonna say, you know, the WHORE word, but yeah, city girls are definitely not marriage material. If you guys are looking for that, now if you're looking for smash material, they're everywhere. So just wherever downtown Park City you're in, just this is where they congregate at. That's exactly where they congregate at. So yeah, guys, we've been going on here for an hour. We're going to wind down. So you guys send your last of the questions and comments before we wind down. You said for attractive women playing life on easy mode. Yep, we would go to lunch in uniform and we would get hit on. I don't doubt it. Military guys have a different, you know, military guys are, you guys are really proficient in protection, and that means a lot. It truly does in nature. It truly does. And, you know, you have the capacity to violently harm somebody if they try to harm you guys. So women find that very attractive, which is why they often give military guys a harsh rating. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Chris, I'm probably sure you're aware of this, but like you come across a woman and they'll see that you're a military guy and they'll be like, oh my God, you know, I'll never, you know, you're toxic or whatnot. A lot of women look down. I wouldn't say look down because they still find these guys attractive. They just don't take them seriously for relationships sometimes. But yeah, they have negative experiences because these military guys have options. They have options. They have lots of women. So they're tired of getting cheated on. It is what it is. They're highly desirable. Depends on what kind of girl you want too. City girl versus country girl. Country girl is better, but do you want to go live out in the country? Because like if you bring the country girl to the city, she gonna get eaten alive. She can't hang. And so like in the city, the best middle ground is the suburbs. But the suburbs only works because the suburbs is like a 30-40 minute drive out of the city. So your commute time is, if it's in the city, if you work in the city, it's going to be a serious commute time dealing with traffic. That's going to be annoying. So, but the perfect balance between the rural parts of the state versus the city is the suburban areas. You said every quarter we had a formal dinner, dress blue uniform afterwards, go to a local spot, and you were going to get laid. I don't doubt it, bro. Chris, what part of the military were you in? Were you Army, Navy, Air Force, National Guard? I had an ex end up with a soldier, marry and have kids. She was embarrassed when I met them in public once because he's casually rude to her. You know, military guys don't play that stuff. You know, the military guy and the bad boy, they kind of go hand in hand because the bad boy is a good protector. The street guy, the gang member, they have the same mentality or similar mentality as the military guys. Matter of fact, you know, some of the military men come from the inner cities, from these gangs to from the fights of the inner city. Army. Yeah, if I got drafted today, I'd go Army. I'd have to be a Ranger or a beret. A ranger or a beret. I heard rasp is difficult, bro. Rasp is a whole, bro. They be running the fuck out them Army Rangers, bro. What is that? 75th battalion. They be running the fuck out of them. They be running the hell out of them guys. The Green Berets. The Green Berets get sent into to them extremely dangerous situations. We have to get the gang out of them. Oh, 75th Regiment. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we have to get the gang out of them. I don't doubt it. But like also too, like the Hell's Angels, those were ex-military guys. You know, they didn't want to go back into society, so they formed a bike gang. You know, Hell's Angels are them Air Force guys from World War II. You know, quick history if you didn't know that. So yeah, the bad boy and the military guy are pretty similar. You know, so I don't know why dudes be trying to be good, be nice men and all that stuff. I'm like, bro, you don't get laid. The nice guy don't get laid, and a lot of them still are. Damn, I. You know what, Chris? I'm not gonna say this guy's name. I've said it before. I mean, I could say it. It's not rocket science, but you know, Jocko, he's connect. I wouldn't say he's not connected, but there's photos of him with a guy that is working in the cartel. So like these, and plus the cartel, some of these guys are ex special forces, you know, or they turn into mercenaries to make side money. So yeah, it's crazy, bro. Affiliate, yeah. See, Chris know the ins and out. Now, Chris, you also know this too. The divorce rate is extremely high with soldiers because they're off at war and deployment and training for so much that it's pretty difficult to sustain a relationship while you're trying to further your career as a soldier, especially if you want to go into special forces development group, Delta Force, like you know, Berets, Rangers, SEALs. Like homie, them fucking Delta Force guys, bro. They got to do 40-mile rucks and navigate the terrain by themselves with no help. That shit is insane, bro. Homie, Delta Force is so hard. Basic training is typically done with groups. You guys are working together. In Delta Force, they need to know you can work by yourself and be proficient by yourself because if you're proficient by yourself, when you get into a group, excuse me, you're pretty much unstoppable. My great grandfather was World War II vet. Shout out to him. Less than 1% are going to make that cut. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard that selection process is insane, homie. And like, really, what it is a lot of those guys they get injured and they get injured in process. They already have a lot of injuries already, and so they physically can't sustain themselves through this stuff, through the process, the grueling process, which is why a lot of them get eliminated. But yeah, I'm definitely not going to be a SEAL or in the Navy. Period. That's definitely not going to happen. I'm not hopping the water, bro. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no, bro. I have to go to the Army. That's the only branch that really makes any sense to me. I'm not gonna fly in an aircraft. That'd be cool, but that's not my personality. Yeah, some break down mentally. Yeah, that too. Or they didn't prepare properly. So yeah, I've actually thought about joining the military numerous times. Me and I had a, uh, I probably would be in the military actually. To be honest with you guys, I probably would be in the military, but I'm not fighting a rich man's war. That's just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But going through training, learning what they know, um, that's that part of it is extremely interesting. Extremely interesting. So you're gonna fly in an aircraft. That's different though. Like you're in the aircraft to be a to be an infantryman. You're gonna fly out of it. I'm talking about like fly the aircraft to like that's the only thing you do like an Air Force guy. Like jumping out of it, yeah, that's different. Army training is hard. I did a recruitment course when I was a teenager, and my legs were bruised from it. That was one day. Yeah, I don't doubt it, bro. I don't doubt it. And then you got a ruck. Yep, I can't. He said you'll join in Texas Nation Guard, National Guard. Put all your pay in your swab account. Retire rich. Texas Nation Guard. Texas National Guard. But yep, that's where all the revolutionary comes too from rogue military guys. Nah, that's an interesting mission set. And Chris, the other secret that the military guys have, a good about a good 10 to 15% of the military guys they join just to have an excuse to take somebody's life, and that's the most legal way to do it too. I looked it up. That's an interesting mission set. Definitely. Yeah, this woman took what she take. She took what? How many hours? She took damn near the whole day to reply. That's crazy work. And these women have their phones on them all the time. It's crazy work, bro. It's hard to take women seriously. They're like, why you don't want to commit? Why you don't want to do this and that? Because you're an imbecile. That's why. You're an imbecile. You're a promiscuous imbecile. That's why. And women think they can get it. Like the one man that women can't get um they can't conquer is the intelligent man like us. They can't get to us because we see their game. Eventually they'll get the bad boy because why? They'll just call the cops on him unless he's clever. The bad boy is clever, which there are some ones that can cleverly get away. If you're outside, do you have family in the military miles? Do I have family in the military? I think I had an uncle that served. He passed away though a while back. I definitely got. My mom has a high school friend that was in the military. I think he was in the army too, or the navy. I forgot. He was in transport. He would transport the supplies. He was on the supply route. And you guys know in war, like God, bro. I used to. I'm telling you, I used to really take this shit seriously. Like you guys know the military channel. My aunt used to have the military channel. I used to watch that shit all day, all day. And so like war is extremely interesting to me. It always has been. Um, this is why I'm trying to get to a point to where I have the free time to learn this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I would join the military, but like I said, I'm not fighting a rich man's war. But shout out to all my troops out there. They're really noble for doing this stuff and risking their lives. But yeah, he was on a supply route in Iraq. And I'm like, bro, thank goodness the Iraq people are incompetent militarily, at least like to that level. They're pretty good at guerrilla warfare inside their own cities, like Fallujah and all that stuff. But Baghdad, all these different things. But yeah, the key thing to eliminate is the supply route. So the soldiers that you're attacking don't have any supplies or run out of ammo, which means it would be easily deleted. If you have outside rules of engagement, you are seriously looking at years in prison. Mm, I don't doubt it. I'm so busy with purpose, I'm not even chasing women. Yeah, chasing. Hell no, chasing never makes any sense. Like think about it, chasing doesn't make any sense because women don't. Where are women going? Why do we need to please women? They should be pleasing us. We bring the value, the protection, the assets, the money. They should be chasing us because we bring the most. Half the time, they just look attractive. And these women are feminists, so they're not trying to make your life easier to take the load off your back. They give you more of a headache. So just like, why would I chase something that's ran through, that doesn't respect male authority, that's flighty, fickle? It doesn't make any sense. You have a college degree, pushed to officer, you'll be pushed to officer candidate school. Mm, that's interesting. How much does those guys make? The officers make? But no, this time we're gonna wind the stream down. You guys send your last of the questions and comments. I still gotta hop in the shower. Yeah, he beating up about that shit. Sean Payton is sad, bro. 500 a weekend. Mm. You said you sleeping in for Sunday? Nah, I gotta wake up early. Second lieutenant. Gotta wake up early, broski. Oh man. Not too early, but early. Like 6 o'clock early. Which I'm used to waking up at 4. But yeah, we're gonna have a live stream tomorrow too. Probably at night. Either gonna be like in that lunchtime time or at night again, like tonight. Is that my retirement is 3,400 a month, and I gave up 500 a month so my wife can collect 55% after I pass. It's a solid deal, you know. Whenever you have a good woman, it's worth it. It most definitely is worth it. But yeah, guys, let me get up out here. I'm gonna hop in the shower and go right to sleep, bro. My eyelids are heavy. So hopefully, you guys get some rest. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be going live tomorrow and Monday and Tuesday. So we're gonna have, because I'm off Monday, we're gonna be continuous. She is 8 years younger also. Dang, yeah, Chris killing the game. She a good woman and she younger. Yeah. See, if we gonna get married, we got to do it the Chris way. The Chris way. The Chris way. But nah, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Be on the lookout for me. You guys have a good rest of your night. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video, like the video. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Peace. Shout out to my man Nicholas. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Introvert for being here earlier. I think that's everybody. Pretty much everybody. All the OG moderators. I'm sure a lot of you guys um, watch the replay. There's a 19-year-old interested in me. I don't know. He said, America, fuck yeah. What you mean? She's legal age. Now, granted, if you go too young, the level of experience can be a turnoff. She don't know too much, so she gonna say something stupid. She's kind of immature, So, you're in your 30s, and I'm approaching 30, so younger women are nice, but like if you go too young, I can't deal with stupid. You know what I'm saying? But hey, she's legal age, so you shouldn't feel bad. Anyways, guys, Taylor, you said, "What's up, my favorite YouTuber? What's going on, man? You came in where we about to leave, man. You about to get off the. You said college girl. Hey, homie, she down with it. She freshman, sophomore year. She completely down with the shit. I got talked about that before, guys. These young women, they be trying to get effed. So you're not getting no fresh water. Nah, she getting ran through. But anyways, guys, that's my video. That's my live stream. Be on the lookout for me tomorrow night. Be on the lookout for me tomorrow night, Taylor. I'll be going live again. Peace. Hit the like button.